Now, what about the Qur'ans today? Again, in the publications, we're told that all the Qur'ans around the world are absolutely identical. Well, that's what I've been told. But it's just not the case. There is something called the qira'at, the different readings of the Qur'an. And these are mainly where the dots and dashes in the Quranic text are different. I have two here, so I've actually got three different versions of the Arabic Qur'an with all the dots and dashes in different places and some letters different. This is the most common one used by, according to Imam Hafs. This is the one used in North Africa according to Imam Warsh. And this is Imam Kowloon. Now, I've been told by Muslims that the differences between these books has only got to do with dialects. But I'd like us to look at a few differences here, and you can see that it's not dialects. So in Surah 21, verse 4, in the Warsh version it reads, Kul Rabi Ya'ilmu. But in the Hafs version it says, Kala Rabi Ya'ilmu. Now, that actually changes the subject of the sentence. In the first one, it's Kul, it's saying, say, my Lord knows. In the next one, it's saying, he said. So the first one is it's Allah giving a command. The second one, it's Muhammad. It's something that Muhammad did. And so in the first one, the subject is God. The second one, the subject is Muhammad. We see this. You see how the different dots and dashes above there change the meaning. The first one, Katala, and many a prophet fought. Kutila, and many a prophet was killed. So it changes it from the active to the passive. We also see, and this is quite a big difference between them, where the personal pronoun is different. So, Nai fir, we give mercy. Your fir, he gives mercy. And so the personal pronoun is changed. Another difference is actually the very first verse of most of the surahs. We read here that the qira'at, the readers themselves, differ over whether the Bismillah was the first verse of Surah Al-Fatiha and the other surahs. Among the Quris, the readers, that is the ones who wrote down these different Qur'ans, Ibn Kathir, Azim and Al-Kisi were the only ones who considered it to be a verse at the beginning of the surahs, whereas the others did not. Now what that actually means is that for the Qur'an that's mainly used in Australia, the Bismillah, in the name of Allah, the Merciful, the Compassionate, that's part of the Qur'an. But in this one, it's not part of it. It's considered just like the titles to the surahs, as old, but not actually part of the verse. The last thing I wanted to look at was the chains of narration, because Muslims will say to me, yes, there are these different versions from the beginning, and yes, Uthman burnt them, and yes, there are these many different readings of the Qur'an which are different in the Arabic. Yes, that is the case, but each of them has their own chain of narration, and that chain of narration guarantees that it's true. My problem is that when we look at the Qur'an that's used in Australia, according to Imam Hafs, have a look at that chain of narration. Look at who the last two links are. And you'll see that it's Ubay ibn Ka'b and Abdullah ibn Mas'ud. Now there's a big problem there, isn't it? Every chain needs to be examined. And there is ample history to show that Abdullah ibn Mas'ud's Qur'an had 111 surahs and a whole range of variants and completely different surah orders. And so I would like to put to you that that this chain of narration is da'if. It's da'if, and that we can't use this chain to prove that this Qur'an is authentic. Now, to conclude, I am asking people who are Islamic leaders and people who are attacking the Bible to stop exaggerating. Both of our books have very small differences within their textual traditions. These are minor and in no way affect the meaning of the books. And very often scholars can use the materials they have to figure out what the original reading was. And so I want to call on Christians and Muslims to just stop exaggerating at this point so that we can listen to each other.